What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to show you how our Kali program links to our kickboxing program that is both taught and trained here at the Academy. Essentially what we're going to do is take our single stick and our single dagger lines and see how we can implement that in empty hand, but not only just empty hand, we're going to show it in a sport or kickboxing application. So I'm here with my partner James, and he's going to have his gloves for his mitts, but I'm just going to illustrate the lines that we would use in the stick and see how that's translated into our empty hand. So let's say off of this one line here, off of this jab, this is essentially a left lead, this could be a stick. I'm using my outside on my inside. I can use this as sumbrada, strike. If I go to the inside, I can cut and strike. And essentially with this jab and cross, I have my inside or outside, depending if it's left lead or right lead. Single stick, maybe double stick, but very simple. I'm using what's called a 45-degree footwork, where I'm starting at home, and then I'm moving offline to attack online. Okay, so I'm intercepting that line on a 45-degree angle. And that can be done in various ways with the weapon, but it can also be done in empty hand. So when we put the stick away, essentially what we're looking at, again, is a jab and cross. Very simple, very basic boxing here. And essentially what I'm going to do is, instead of just slipping on the spot, which we do this traditionally, when the jab comes, I kind of just slip here and I stay in the same spot. Now when I cover more ground and I start implementing that 45 degree, what I'm going to do is, first of all, become comfortable in both my left lead and my right lead. Okay, so you can see that's a very common principle in many different Filipino martial arts, and even in other martial arts as well, being ambidextrous. So off of this jab, I'm going to slip, but I'm also going to switch my lead. Okay? One of the most popular ways that I like using this is I like to be a little bit more efficient, and when that jab comes, I switch and I hit him with a cross. This essentially would be a jab, but because I switch simultaneously, it ends up becoming a cross in southpaw position. Okay, so I can do that off of the jab. I can switch here, and off the cross, I can also step out. Instead of switching, it's going to be kind of like a jamming or intercepting line. Okay? Now, when I want to mix it up with a little more boxing here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jab first, set the engagement. When the jab comes back, I'm going to slip, I'm going to step, and then use this base to twist over to cross on top. Okay, so very slowly I go jab, slip with a step, using my right lead. I'm going to shift into a left lead, using all that momentum to cross over top. Okay, so there's various ways we can do it. We can keep it as just kind of an entry where off of the jab, I go for a switch, and then from here I start piling on my combinations, whatever it might be. Or I can use it from a traditional boxing standard where I go boom, and then move, and use that pivot and that momentum as my power generator or as my angle creation. Another way, because it is kickboxing, not only do we use our hands, we use our legs. Off of that jab, I still use that same 45-degree step. I'm going offline, and to intercept, instead of coming in this way, I'm going to let my roundhouse trail around here. Boom. Landed in. Then from here, continue up or go into a different route. Same thing on the other side. Step offline. Right leg comes up. Kicks. Drop it down. Continue. Or drop it out depending on what's more comfortable for you. The technique and your ability to control that kick is a variable depending on how many times you train, if striking is your primary sense. And again, we're looking at this in a competition sense. Right? If it wasn't competition, I'm not looking for these angles for clean technique. I can use it and then get into dirty boxing. I can use it to get into grappling. But in this sense, I'm trying to implement it to score the point, win the round, be a technical fighter, and use it in a competition sense. So I'm sure there's plenty of more ways that you can see how you can use not only Kali footwork, but Kali angles and lines to set up your empty hand in a competition or kickboxing, boxing, even a karate style format. The idea is implementing your Kali or your Filipino martial arts techniques and amplifying everything else you have. Not everything has to be weaponry. Not everything has to be empty hand. Not everything has to be grappling, and not everything has to be striking. So kind of the idea here at the Academy is to mix our programs with each other so you can ultimately have an outlook in various lenses, whether it's striking competition, striking traditional, or it's tactical with a weapon and looking for the best route possible in self-defense. So find what it is that you want, make sure it's useful for you, and then combine that and ultimately make your own martial arts version of all the things that you enjoy. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment below, let us know what else you want to see, and until next time, catch you guys then.